Ladies and gentlemen, live from Kelvin University, it's The Tonight Show!
Welcome to The Tonight Show. I am your host, Jack Droppers. We have quite the show for you tonight. Kelsey Colburn is here, and we will have a musical performance by J.Rob. But first, let's get to the news. So, this is fun. Last week, AMC announced that they will be offering the ability to rent an entire theater for just $100, which is awesome because previously for $100 you could get a whole tub of popcorn, a movie ticket, and that's about it. On Saturday, protesters gathered in the morning outside of Disneyland in California to demand that California Governor Newsom reopen Disneyland. And yeah, they were white. In campus news, there is a new version of the Kelvin Crushes profile, which has appeared on Facebook. Now, for those of you who don't know, or who are 30-year-old men like me and got a weird friend request from this, Kelvin Crushes is a place where students can anonymously post a poem or a sweet nothing to the crush of their choosing. Because, you know, as the old youth group saying goes, leave room for Mark Zuckerberg. Finally, last week, the meat company Hormel began selling bacon-scented masks, which leads us to a new section that we are calling Dating Advice with Jack. Friends, don't buy a bacon-scented mask. Look, I know the idea of the mask sounds funny, but dating in college is so anxiety-producing already. You don't want to be there questioning where the bacon smell is coming from when that cute girl that you set up with your freshman year roommate by accident is finally single after 2 years of dating him, and then you have to spend all weekend trying to find the courage to speak to her because you have one chance, one opportunity to finally tell her how you feel. Do you really want to be sitting there thinking the entire conversation, wait, when is the last time I ate bacon? When is the last time I brushed my teeth? Of course you don't. You are about to jumble together a full litany of sentences that for some reason will make her not want to talk to you for a year, or maybe 3. And then she finally will talk to you after you graduate, and she lives across the country and sends you an email that says we should catch up on the phone sometime. Which of course you will say yes to, and then you will begin this strange back and forth correspondence, which will lead you to send her an email with a 6-page document about how your life feels like the TV show Lost, and then she will respond, I have a boyfriend. And then a couple months later, she writes you again, I don't have a boyfriend, and now we should talk sometime. And then when you do talk that time, she begins to mention that she's a vegetarian, which brings to your mind the thing that has been bothering you for almost half a decade, that's been dominating your consciousness. This question: have I spent the last 2 years in romantic purgatory because my face smells like greasy meats, or is it because I have a, quote, off-putting personality? This has been Dating Advice with Jack. We'll be right back with Kelsey Colburn.
Hey, we love your sound. Hi, my name is J.Rob and I started from the underground. Hey, I've been really on the come up, work my fingers to the bone. I'm talking sundown to the sun.
She is the director of the CSSP, the longest acronym at Calvin, and also the woman who will take over when you get sick. This is Kelsey Colburn. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here. I want to talk about your new role, but first, let me ask, we talked a little bit before the show, you've had some interesting interactions with your neighbors during quarantine. What maybe describe those to us.
Oh yeah. Okay, so one day during quarantine, my next door neighbor, I just started hearing like him yelling at the top of his lungs. He'd be like, and I was like really startled at first, but then I was like, okay, I gotta investigate this. And then I would hear it again. And I walked to my window. I have like really big windows that I can see into the balconies on either side of me. And this guy will just like stand there on his balcony going like at the top of his lungs. And I'm like, okay, the Italians get like cellists playing off of their balconies and like people singing opera, and I have this guy screaming into 2020 with existential dread. Like, you know what? That makes sense.
That's the American classical music. It's just yelling.
Yes, exactly.
And this happened like middle of the day, or?
Yeah, it had to have been like 4 PM.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, did something happen at work? Do you need help?
Do you ever feel tempted to like join them in, like it's a call to prayer sort of thing, where you're just like everyone in the neighborhood?
Yes, we should all just like walk out onto our balconies instead of like game nights like some people do, just like screaming into the highway together.
That's great. So you took over, I don't know if it was a choice or not, you don't have to tell us if it was a choice or not, took over for this new position, which is, what is the title for your COVID position?
That's sort of up in the air. I'm not sure that it depends on who you ask. Like the COVID social worker, the COVID case manager.
Yes.
I have a master's in social work. And so sometime in like late July, early August, Sarah Visser called and said, hey, we really need some extra help for, and support for students during the fall semester if COVID becomes, a thing on campus. And so in August, I helped prep, I helped test all the students when they came in. And then sort of started to try to create a structure for if students go into quarantine and go into isolation. So usually if you go into quarantine or isolation, you'll hear from me. Okay. And some students need, a certain level of emotional support, others don't, and every, reaction is super valid. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be doing it. I think it's an incredibly necessary and important role, and we're really lucky to have a really cool support team for students at Kelvin.
Yeah. For those who don't know you, your other job, your, pre-COVID job.
And post-COVID, hopefully.
If there's a post-COVID job. Is running the sexuality series and having the longest acronym. What does this acronym stand for?
Okay, it took me forever to learn, and I still mess up. The Coordinator of Student Success in Sexuality Programming, CSSSP.
Yes, and you're fairly new as well here, right?
I started like a week before you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what drew you to this job? What drew you to Kelvin? And why are you excited about what you do here?
Yeah, well, this job, let me tell you, is incredibly unique for Christian campuses. The fact that, I saw this role posted on a website, it must have been just a job board after I graduated with my master's degree, and I thought, this is incredible. This school has this comprehensive, holistic job that works with the sexuality series, so we bring in really nice speakers to talk about anything related to human sexuality, and then also I work in sex ed and sexual violence prevention programming. And then my favorite part, which I thought was, again, incredibly unique, is that I work with the LGBTQ community and allies and any students who want to learn about gender identity and sexual orientation. And that has to be, hands down, my favorite part of the job because it's such a vibrant, wonderful, loving community of students.
Yeah, and you've said before that's sort of an open invite to students who are saying like, hey, I want to know more about this community and how I can be an ally or how I can, open up my mind to, loving my neighbor in the dorm. How would somebody who is interested in asking you questions or sitting down with you do that? Maybe in a post-COVID.
Yeah, so I've actually been going for walks, distanced walks with students sometimes with masks on. I'm available on Teams under Kelsey Colburn. I have it downloaded on my phone, so you can reach me there. And then I'm available via email, and then I also have a Facebook under Kelsey J. Colburn that you can add me on and send me messages.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Last thing, you and I are both Hope College grads.
Yes, we are.
Which I hope I'm allowed to say on the show. I've been asking people this recently. There's a West Michigan accent, which people from West Michigan don't believe in. Do you think that there's a Hope College accent?
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at all. It's a very perky accent if there is one.
I think that the Hope College accent is like the West Michigan accent, like to the nth degree. And this is the only way I can get there is by saying this phrase. Paul Boersma, Hope College. That's the only way I can say
Paul Boersma.
Paul Boersma, Hope College. Let's use our felt board.
Yes, exactly.
There's something that's I don't know what it is. It's like there's really like I don't know.
Yes.
Anyways,
A big
I've
elongated.
been thinking about that lately. I don't know why. I haven't talked to Paul Boersma in a really long time. But anyways, I'll see you at our next Hope College is going to take over the staff of Calvin meeting. But until then, it's been really fun to have you here. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
We are going to cut away now to the art gallery for a performance by J.Rob.
Hey, you remember that we did.
Hey, black superheroes. This for the black superheroes. Hey, black superhero. Hey yo, black superhero. Ride for my Negroes, no cape on, I don't need that, I'm in all black. See, I rose from the underground with a thunder sound and an afro with a pick like I'm Kaepernick. Stand with my brothers when it's time to. Please let me remind you, police shooting us down like it ain't a crime too. Self-defense, man, they leaving them defenseless. Meanwhile, he paid to leave, enjoying Christmas. Sad stories, mamas worry about their babies getting shot by the police. That stuff is crazy, protecting and serving. Instead they shoot and put dirt on the funeral service. That black boy was living with purpose. Black superhero, homie, I came to say today, take a stand with my people. To their face, this is going on too long. Welcome to Ground Zero. You are now rocking with some black superheroes. Hey yo, black superhero, here to say today. Hey, yo, black superhero, here to say today. Hey, yo, black superhero, and we here to say today. Hey, yo, black superhero, here to say today. Black superhero, fist up, bout to grip pump. Never slip up for my people, we all equal. Well, supposed to be, but supposedly they think we thuggin'. I know an actual father, son, and a good husband. We standing up, we done had enough, calling your bluff. Spidey senses tingling, the web is wrapping them up. And it's stacking they bucks, meanwhile laughing at us. Crabs in a bucket, pull you down so they can get up. A damn shame, this Gotham City, it ain't pretty. Black superhero, brought some black superheroes with me. No games played, we breaking chains, making a change, fighting for the people. If you don't feel that, then you lame. Get out the way, cause we on a mission, so listen and pick a side. Too many innocent lives, go on, we forming like Voltron. These cannons on both arms out the window. Some real black superheroes. Hey yo, black superhero, here to say today. Hey, yo, black superhero, here to say today. Hey, yo, black superheroes, and we here to say today. Hey, yo, black superheroes, here to say today. Hey, yo, black superhero, black superhero, black superhero. We some black superheroes for our black superheroes. Hey, yo, black superhero, black superhero, black superhero. We some black superheroes for my black superheroes. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Officer, do not shoot. I'm just trying to get home to my mind dukes. You see this backpack, you know I just came from school. And I ain't trying to end up on the evening news. In this lifetime, we gotta play by the rules. Stand still and don't make any sudden moves. That's messed up, we out of love, getting out of touch. We went from slaves to riding on the back of the bus. They brought drugs in to mess up our communities. Million man marching and they all about the unity. All about you and me, they don't care about you and me. Wanna see us dead to make us some type of foolery. My hands up, I can't breathe, blood on my seat. Grown man down to 13 laying dead in the street. When will it stop? Getting killed by the cops. Time ticking away, we cannot just sit back and watch. Black superheroes, here to say today. Hey, yo, black superheroes, here to say today. Hey, yo, black superheroes, and we here to say today. Hey, yo, black superhero, here to say today. Hey, black superhero. Hey.
And that is our show. Thanks so much to J.Rob for being here. If you want to hear more from him, tune in for our mini concert and conversation on Thursday. Thanks to Kelsey Colburn for being here. And thank you to you all for watching. We'll see you next week. Have a good night. Roll credits. I chickened out and didn't say it.
Well, because
That's true. I could just say it now. If you want to hear more from Kelsey Colburn, just get COVID. Or email her.
That's my new favorite joke. You have to be a student.
You have to be a student now. Yeah. If you're watching this at home, stop. But don't get COVID, please, for the sake of our country.
I want to stay here as long as possible. That's the whole thing. We just run that whole thing.
Let's run this whole thing.